Hello, you beautiful people. This is Computer Science for Everyone, and today we're going to talk about iteration. Well, we discussed about selection. You became familiar with if and else and elif to see how we can make a decision based on the data that we have or we get from user. Today, we're going to go through something very fundamental, and that is repeat. Computers are really good in repeating things. And that's their job, actually. The boring part of the daily task is those things that you have to keep doing it over and over and over. For example, let's say you're an accountant and you have a bunch of number and expenses, and you have to find the addition, the summation of all of it. So you may use calculator, or you may be smart and bring them to the Google spreadsheet or Excel and then get the whole column and get the summation. But anyway, we like to see that how we can utilize our programming to let us to key in numbers one by one, and then at the end we get the summation. I mean the total number. So this is the example that I choose to get you familiar with the way that we can implement iteration in computer programming. And the language is Python, remember. So let's just start and do a little bit of coding. uh, what we're going to do here. Oh, this is wrong, and that is correct. Okay. So, uh, first of all, the most important thing is understand how this mechanism work, how we can do that. So we need a kind of procedure to repeat things. We always have two, in general, we have two kind of loop or repeat, loop or repeat. One is count control. Count control means we already know how many times we want to repeat. 5 times. I have 10 items. I have 20 items. So I know how many times I have to repeat. In my case, that my goal is to find a way to get the summation of all the expenses. So if you tell me how many expenses you have, I can follow this approach. So count, control, loop, or iteration. The second kind of the loop, we call them condition control. It means, for example, I don't know, so you just give me your numbers. Whenever you want to stop, okay, whenever you want to stop, and then you give me a -1, for example. If you tell me -1, I know that is the end. Or maybe I keep asking you, is there any more number? If you tell me yes, I continue to ask you, okay, give me the number. Or if I tell you that no, you tell me no, I will stop and I will do calculation and I just print the summation for you. So this is the condition. So understand, in the count way, we count because we know how many times. In condition, there is a condition that whenever the condition is false, we stop iterating. So let's write first the code for count control version. What we're going to do here is first, I'm going to write down a structure for counting. In Python, we write for, that's what we can do to create the count version. We write for count. Count is the variable that is going to count the repeat. It's counting. And we write in a very simple way. Look at what I did. I used a square block, which led me to create a list of items. For example, say 1, 2, 3, 4 times. For count in 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I use colon like if, and I will come to the next line to, for now, let's do something simple. I will print count. When I run this code, look at the outcome. I see 1, 2, 3, and 4. It means that this part of my code executed 4 times because I have here 4 elements, and first time count is 1, then the count going to be 2, and then will be 3, and then eventually will be 4. You know what? I can write here that down that you can fill it in a better way. So run it. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, and down. So this shows that here you repeat it 4 times. Very simple. Look at the syntax again. 4, count, in 1, 2, 3, 4, you do something like that. You can have multiple lines of code. It means there's not just only one. For example, let's say what I like to do is I'm just going to repeat this hello, and then I'm going to just say count. So if I run the code, you will get hello 1, hello 2, hello 3, and hello 4. So 4 times this get repeated. I can make it like 5 times, as much as I want, and it is okay as long as how many, doesn't matter how many I want. I'm gonna just do the job for me 5 times, right? So try to understand a little bit the syntax here. Maybe I can zoom now a bit more. Look at the code. You have the 4 in, and we have this list. And this is the count, the variable that refer to iteration of your cycles. So 5 cycles we're going to have here. Another way, or maybe a much typical way to use for loop is using another function. Because what if I'm going to repeat 15 times? I'm not going to write 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's going to be really boring. There's a function we call it range, and then here you're just going to write how many times you want it. It's very, very technically same as what I did in the previous code. When I run this, so let me clean and run. So you see hello 0, hello 1, hello 2, hello 3, hello 4. You see that there's a little difference. When I use the range, counting starts from 0, which is more typical in computer science. That means counting starts from 0, not from 1. But before that, I started from 1 because I wanted to make it a little bit more natural. But you have to know that most of the time, counting in computer science starts from 0. So 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So when I say 4, actually it means 5 cycles. It may be a little bit confuse you, but the point is because we start counting from 0, so the 5th cycle counting ends to number 4. So 0, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, but you write 5, but what that means 0 till 5. So until 5 doesn't include 5. You can put other numbers. You can write 15, for example. Now let me make the 15, and I don't want to have the hello anymore. So you got a 15 number here, 0 to 14, and now is 15. So that's fine. That's very good. So let's see what else we can do. Imagine we're going to back again to the previous version. We're going to make it 4 times, and let's forget about down. And then what we like to do, we want to get a value from user. So I will just write this. For example, I write a cost equal by, remember that when we were using input, so int input. So you have to write a message, but technically if you don't write any message, it still works, okay? You can here write enter the expenses, for example, something like that. Or you can just leave it empty. For now, I leave it empty. So then what I do, I will just print cost here. So I'm getting 4 times cost from user. Let me run it. So ask me something. I'm going to say 123, and then I said 304, 432, 333, and 500. See that all those numbers that I got it, they are all printed here. So you can see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, and 500. So it's just simply, I just repeated this 4 loops 4 times, right? And then what else we can do here? You can, your 4 loops can have multiple lines of code. Like here that I put 2 lines of code. But I'm going to do something better. I want to just get the summation of these costs. So this is one cost. I like to add this cost with the next cost, with the next cost, with the next cost. These 4 cycles. So I have to somehow sum all these 4 costs that I'm receiving from users within 4 cycle of my 4 loops. There is a very, very typical way to do that. You may pause the video, think a little bit yourself, see if you can come up with a solution that how we can get the summation of all these costs. Pause. Okay, I hope you found it. If not, I'm just going to write down here. First, I create a variable total equal by 0. Very simple, just total by 0. This total is supposed to get the total of all the costs. What I do is the next line, I'm going to write that total is equal by total. So you look at this one, and nothing, surprising about it. Total equal by total. Why I'm going to do that? This line doesn't do anything at the moment. Whatever is total will be assigned to total. Remember, assign operators get whatever is in the right side and assign it to the left side. So what do I have in the right side is total. And then I will assign it to the left. So after this line, nothing going to change about total. If I'm just going to write print total is, and I write total, and I run this. So I write, let's say 123, some other numbers. So I'm just going to get total is 0. Because it's 0, maybe I use plus operator. And remember that integer numbers should be converted to string. We discussed about this in previous videos. So because nothing is changing, but if I come here and I write plus cost, what will happen technically, huh? First, total is 0, right? Total is 0. Then I will get the value from user. Let's say I get 100. Then what will happen here? What do you evaluate here? 0 plus 100. This is 100. So 100 will be assigned to total. So after this line, total will be 100. From here, we're back again to the next cycle. We're not going to go to line number 5 because it's a for loop. So we're going to repeat it 4 times. Then we're going to go for the line number 5. So then in the next cycle, I get again another value from user. So let's say 200. So now cost is 200, but total already changed to 100 because of previous cycle. So this part is 100, which is whatever we add up by now, plus the new cost, 200, will be 300, and 300 will be assigned to total. So now total is 300. There is another 2 cycles to go. So we go to the next cycle, we get another cost from user. Let's say this time is 100. And now look at here, total, which is 300, which is equal by summation of the previous 2 cycles, 100 plus 200, 300, plus new 100 will be 400. 400 will be assigned to total. And now total is 400. Same things happen for the next cycle. So total aggregating all the values we are receiving. Okay, this is aggregation. Cumulatively add everything and add to each other and get bigger and bigger and bigger and boom. So then when the for loop finish, we print it. So let's run this one. First one is 100. Then I'm going to say 200. Then I'm going to say 300. Then I'm going to say 50. So see what I got here? I got total is 650. I mean, like I add up everything. I did my summation for all the 4 costs. So this is count control loop. I will talk about a condition loop condition control loop in next video. But here, I just wanted to explain to you guys a little bit of for loops. So you try to do this. Try to change the number 4 to 40 other numbers, and try to be a little bit more creative. Maybe you can do some other kind of mathematical approaches. Maybe you want to find the average. And then what you're going to do here, maybe instead of printing total, you create another variable before line number 5 on write average, and then do something. I will just leave it for you, okay? You have to do something because you know the count, you know the total. You can maybe divide and do some kind of things and print the average. So this is a little bit about iteration and for loops. I hope you had fun. Just go through it, practice. Any question, ask me. That was iteration part 1. We're going to continue with conditional control loop, which that one also is fun. Have fun.